'Twas the night before Yuletide by CC Williford. 'Twas the night before Yuletide, and all through the glen not a creature was stirring, not a fox, not a hen. A mantle of snow shone brightly that night as it lay on the ground, reflecting moonlight. The fairies were nestled all snug in their trees, unmindful of flurries and a chilly north breeze. The elves and the gnomes were down in their burrows, sleeping like babes in their soft earthen furrows. Then lo, the earth moved in a thunderous quake, causing chairs to fall over and dishes to break. The little folks scrambled to get to their feet and then raced to the river where they usually meet. What happened, they wondered, they questioned, they probed, as they shivered in night clothes, some bare-armed, some robed. What caused the earth shudder? What caused her to shiver? They all spoke at once as they stood by the river. Then what to their wondering eyes should appear but a shining gold light in the shape of a sphere? It blinked and it twinkled and it winked like an eye. And then it flew straight up and was lost in the sky. Before they could murmur, before they could bustle, there emerged from the crowd with a swish and a rustle a stately old crone with her hand on a cane, resplendent in green and a flowing white mane. As she passed by them, the old crone's perfume, smelling of meadows and flowers abloom, made each of the fae folk think of the spring when the earth wakes up from the slumber and the birds begin to sing. My name is Gaia, the old crone proclaimed, in a voice that was once both wild and tamed. I've come to remind you, for you seem to forget, that Yule is a time of rebirth, and yet I see no hearth fires, I hear no music, no bells. The air isn't filled with rich, fragrant smells of baking and roasting and simmering stews, of cider that's mulled and other hot brews. There aren't any children at play in the snow, or houses lit up by candles aglow. Have you forgotten, my children, the fun of celebrating the rebirth of the sun? She looked at the fae folk, her eyes going round as they shuffled their feet and they stared at the ground. Then she smiled, the smile that brings light to the day. Come, my children, let's play. They gathered the mistletoe, they gathered the holly, threw off the drab and drew in the jolly. They lit the big bonfire and they danced and they sang. They brought out the bells and clapped when they rang. They strung lights on the trees and boughs oh so merry in colors of cranberry, bayberry, and cherry. They built giant snowmen and adorned them with hats, then surrounded them with snowbirds and snow hats and bats. Then just before dawn, at the end of their feast, before they went homeward to seek out their rest, the fae folk all gathered round their favorite oak tree and welcomed the sun beneath the tree's finery. They were just reaching home when it suddenly came, the gold light returned like an arrow shot flame. It lit on the treetop where they could see from afar a golden-like sphere turned into a star. The old crone just smiled at the beautiful sight. Happy Yuletide, my children. Good night.